Hi, my name's Carl Benson from the Latch company, and today we're going to do a short video on what is a tubular latch. Also, I'm going to cover, while we're here, because they're very similar, what is a Deadbolt. So they're both very similar products. So in short, a tubular latch is where you don't want to have the whole locking facility in one place. You're simply going to be having a latch for a door. Now, this one here is our heavy duty tubular latch. You'll see that it's got a face plate, it's got the catch side here, an opening and a mortise bar opening there. Well, let's start from the end here. So we've got these two holes here, which are what we call for bolt-through connections. So if you imagine when this has been mortised into the door, there's actually not a lot of meat left over or timber left over to fix your handle to. If the handle traverses sort of top and bottom, you're fine. But if you've got like a doorknob or a lever on rose handle, you're going to be struggling. So what we have here, these two openings here, which are what we call bolt-through connections. And the idea is that when you align the two rose plates either side, there's these very thin, probably no more than M3 bolts, which you can then bolt through and clamp the door handle to the frame. Also, this bit here is the actual mortise bar opening. Again, it's an 8mm opening for a 7.8mm bar. This allows the bar to traverse either side of the door, so when you turn the handle on one side, the handle on the other side turns over. Moving forward here, this next dimension here is what we would call the back set. Now, from this edge here to the middle of the bar here determines how far this latch will actually come from the edge of the door. Now, for things like a lever handle, not really a problem. With a lever handle, your hand is sort of taken away from the edge of the door. It becomes important when you start dealing with doorknobs, because at the end of the day, the doorknob is sort of sat here, and when you turn, but you might be hand, you turn it. If you're too close to the edge, you'll spend the rest of your life racking your knuckles on the frame. So if you're using doorknobs, you want to come in. We generally say go for a 4-inch latch for a doorknob. You can get away with a 3-inch latch, depending how wide that door sort of stop is. Often it can be quite thick. If it's a standard sort of 10mm one, you can get away with it. Now, also the thing to remember here, this is what we call a heavy-duty tubular latch. So inside here, there are two springs. The first spring is this one here, which is actually quite light, which is the catch side. But there's a secondary spring here, which is a return spring, which is much heavier. These are designed for door knobs which are primarily unsprung. So you can get knobs which are sprung. You get a spring on the left-hand side, spring on the right-hand side. If you combine that with the heavy spring inside here, then often if it's round, it's smooth, or wet hands, or old hands, or very young hands, you can't turn it. So really, we say the heavy-duty latch is going to be used for unsprung doorknobs. Sprung doorknobs, different story altogether. Moving to the front here, you'll see the catch. Now this catch here is designed to turn all the way around, and this is to determine which way your door is hung. Now on here, it's got a little thing saying this way up. That must always be facing upwards. And we've had some run-ins in the past. People say, well, no, I've had to turn it around. It's now facing downwards. No, but you can turn it around and then turn this around, and you will maintain that trajectory of being up. We're now going to a slightly more budgety catch here. This is what I call like a soft spring. The difference here is instead of having a separate fore end, the fore end here is actually built into the latch. It's a much softer spring both ways. This one here, I can actually turn up a hand, and again, you've got the bolt-through connection. This one here, I'll most certainly be using with doorknobs which have a built-in spring, or lever handles with a built-in spring, or a lever on rose handle with a built-in spring. It's much softer. That's where it works, and obviously it works in conjunction with a striker plate. Moving on to the Deadbolt. Almost identical in its design, its setup, but the only thing here really is that there are no springs inside here. This is purely a mechanical drive which you turn that and that drive that one out. It's still got the same bolt-through connections. The idea is it's used for, let's say, like we call a bathroom turn and release. So on one side of the bathroom you have the turn, on the other side you have the release, and that's essentially like a little slot which allows you to unlock the bathroom if somebody would have a tumble inside the bathroom and want rescuing. Likewise at the front here, instead of having that angled catch, you've got a straightforward rectangular block. So when that's turned, that comes out. And another difference you'll probably notice here is that the mortise opening here is a 5mm opening, whereas on to the handle side, it's always an 8mm opening. So these are always defined as being a smaller opening for the bathroom. I'll give you an example here. If we switch over to one of our sash locks here, this is the bathroom one. This top one here is for the mortise bar, which traverses the door. Down here is a smaller 5mm bar, which would be for the bathroom turn and release. So moving on to different types. Well, firstly, you get fire rated and non-fire rated. We've taken decisions as a company to make sure that all our locks, latches, tube latches, deadbolts, deadlocks, Euro profile locks are all fire rated. So they all come under Certifier CF5531. So with ours, if you want to buy a cheaper non-fire rated, you can't do it. We decided that it's much healthier to have a singular range with singular standard across the range. It saves having too much to offer. Yes, they are a little bit cheaper to go for non-fire rated, but yeah, where do we stop? So from now on, everything's fire rated. The next question is how to install these. Again, I'll say I would, unless you were a very keen, very confident DIYer, I'll probably be quite tempted to say, let's go and leave it with the professionals. Professional carpenters come and install these for you. We have produced a video on which we'll link below, so you can have a look at that video and see how to install. There are some rules you've got to go by. Installing these things is not as easy as it may sound. But I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. We'll always come back to you. I say in conclusion, as a company, we pride ourselves on offering advice where we can. If we can't actually answer you there and then, we'll come back to you with an answer. And also just to remind you all that as of from now on onwards, all our locks and latches and tube latches will all be to the latest certifier regulations, the latest CE mark, the new European UK CA mark. So we're now compliant, and if also everything comes in a range of 11 different colours. That's regarding the 400 strikers. So if you found this movie informative and helpful, please give us a thumbs up. That really helps our algorithm, and please follow and subscribe. Thank you for watching.